All right, welcome back to the channel, everybody. McNuggets here on Max TV. So we went to Turtles pre-release, and it was not quite what I was expecting. I do know that there's been a lot of pushback in the world about Turtles, and some players are unhappy, and I heard that some pre-releases were going, not so busy and stuff like that. So, and it's been all weekend, and tonight's Monday, so I went in. I was expecting to play a little bit of pre-release. And what I didn't realize was that my store was actually having Two-Headed Giant tonight, which I avoided yesterday because I thought that I would actually be, that was yesterday and that tonight would be regular. So anyway, uh, I show up, I sign up, I show up, I go in, and there are only 4 people signed up, and it is indeed Two-Headed Giant. Now, luckily, one of the other people, shout out to my homie Zach, my new homie Zach, he also showed up with sort of similar intentions and needed a teammate. So we were able to play together. So that was fine. And then the other 2 people was a couple of brothers that we got to meet, Brandon and Lucas. Shout out to you guys. They were a lot of fun, really nice guys, and we had a great time. But there were only 4 people at the pre-release. So I don't know if it's just because it was, all weekend, everybody kind of shot their load and most people had done all the pre-release stuff they were going to do. Maybe it was because other people were aware that it was Two-Headed Giant and they weren't up for that. So I don't know. It was very quiet. But I do want to say, having said all of that, it was definitely the most fun I've had at a pre-release playing like Limited Magic in a long, long time. It was just the 4 of us. We got our packs, we got our boxes, we did our, deck building and so on. And then we got into our first game. And about halfway through the game, they brought pizza out. I think part of I don't know if it's just everywhere that was doing Turtles pre-release was doing pizza, or it was just our LGS is cool, and they're like, Turtles, pizza, goes together. So they brought us out a bunch of pizza, and there was only 4 of us. There was like 6 boxes of pizza, so obviously there was a RCQ, like standard event going on in the store, so other people got to enjoy it. But yeah, so that was about halfway through our first game. Like I said, we weren't really like hyper competitive. It was just, like I said, the 4 of us just having one basic back and forth match. So yeah, this is the deck that I built. And my teammate, Zach, also had basically Orzhov. So I have a slight Mardu thing going on here. And his deck was just pure black-white. We had a lot of similar cards. I had a Leader's Talent, which was a bit different. And then I had some red I wanted to use. You can see here Raphael's technique. That's basically a Wheel of Fortune, if you can get the sneak ability on it. And I did have one other card in here, which was, I can't remember what it was called, but it is basically kind of like Perforos. It's a 5-mana double red creature that says when another creature enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. And when it attacks, you make a 2/2 mutant. So yeah, it was pretty fun. The first game, we played 2 games against each other. The first game, me and Zach curved out pretty hard. There was a little bit of interaction going on the board, but we were able to clear it away, and basically pretty convincing win. I think mostly because of high flying ace. Flyers were tough. Between the 2 of us, there wasn't a lot of flying or reach going on. They had 1 reach creature that I removed for the kill shot with the anchovy and banana pizza. But high flying ace was on the board, Leader's Talent was on the board, and we were just putting counters on it and getting a lot of damage in. So that was how we won the first game. And then in the second game, I ended up keeping a 3-mana hand, 2 swamps and a plains. And I never drew another land the rest of the game. So that was tough. Zach actually drew all the lands in the second game. So he was low on resources and high on lands, and I had literally 7 cards in my hand. And Brandon and Lucas were just happily building their board out. He had like every version of Michelangelo. He had the hardened scales Michelangelo, and he had the other Michelangelo. It was awesome. It was very flavorful. It had like all the turtles were doing their things on their side this time. So the first game we won. The second game they crushed our souls, and we called it a night. So that it was great though. Like I said, like we stopped in the middle of the first game when the pizza came out because everyone wants fresh hot pizza, and we got to chat about our experiences with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and what we knew about the turtles and how they affected our childhoods. and just why we enjoyed this IP. We weren't like mad about it, and that's one thing I kind of wanted to talk about was like how everybody is like mad about Universes Beyond, and like I said, we, I mean, I get it. The four of us that were there, we were there for this specifically because it's fun to us, right? But at the same time, we were talking mostly about how Universes Beyond does bring other people into Magic, right? Like if 100,000 people play it and 10,000 people like it and 1,000 people really, really get into it and just play Magic for the rest of their lives, more or less, that's good. Every different IP brings in another set of 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 players. You don't know how many, depending on the diversity and how big this crowd is and who's into whatever this IP is. It is another way to bring people into Magic. And people were like, well, pizza on a card. This is a Magic card. 4 mana for a removal spell in draft is pretty standard. So double black, 2 generic. This is a standard removal spell in draft, in limited formats. And this has a couple of other abilities. It's a food, and you can sacrifice it to gain 3 life. But, for example, this isn't better than your average kill spell in limited if you have certain things like Dawn and Leo, right? Where if I have got this card on the board, I can flicker it at the end of my, turn and kill something else. So you're mad because there's turtles, right? And you're mad because there's pizza. Okay? Why are you mad, bro? Like the functionality of the card, the words on the card are what matters, right? And the art, sure. Some Magic art is timeless and beautiful and thought-provoking and emotive and will make you feel things about what you remember about the game. But trust me, when I'm playing, a Flicker deck or an ETB deck and I've got this card online, it's going to be fun. If I'm playing a deck that wants Impact Tremors and I've got an extra copy of Impact Tremors, this doesn't even look, it's Raphael, it's a turtle. I mean, sure, he's a turtle. Guess what? If it was another set, it could be a Vidalkin or an Otter or an Eldrazi. Like, what is your point, right? Like, these are Magic cards. They're fun. They serve a purpose. They do a thing. And they allow us to play our game. So it was really fun because we got to talk about that as well when we were having our pizza break. And we were saying, it wasn't just about turtles. We were saying, hey, if you could have any IP be the next Universes Beyond, what would it be? And we had a great conversation, just talking about the different things that we enjoyed and the different IPs that we thought would be fun to get into Magic. And it's not, these are very personal thoughts. This is kind of like when I first got into Magic, a lot of people did, what are they called? Like fan design cards or whatever. Like, I guess, I don't know what you want to call it, but like fan design cards, like personal designs. And I know people still do that, but it feels like Magic took that a step further and started making Universes Beyond. Although having said that, there are some fan design cards that are pretty cool, right? That I've seen over the years that have never become a Magic card. And there are plenty of Magic cards that do things and stuff, that are fine, but are also very repetitive of the things we've seen. And it just, I guess, more of what you expect or more of what you would hope for or more of what you appreciate. But there is a lot of room, especially when you're doing Universes Beyond, especially when you're looking at specific characters, to incorporate designs into them that you might not normally see or you might not normally consider for a Magic card, or you might have to bring back an old mechanic to make the card like feel more like it should. So I think that overall, Universes Beyond is got to be a net positive for Magic. I mean, it's going to bring more players in. It's going to get more eyes on the game. And at the end of the day, it gives them more space to design and to play with ideas, and hopefully allows them to like put other card designs like on the shelf for universes within sets. Or even if they really want to take like a broken idea or a broken mechanic and apply it to something more niche, or something like the Warhammer sets, right, where you're not going to get it printed like over and over and over. And so like those cards are going to be harder to get hold of, more favored and more chase. So these are just some thoughts, and I'm kind of just spewing here. I don't write stuff down when I want to talk about these things, but I just wanted to say that, like, from a fan of the game point of view, it doesn't really matter that it's Turtles or that it's Lord of the Rings or that it's Lorwyn. I still love Magic. I still enjoy the game, and I appreciate the steps that they take, be them money motivated or not. We have to understand that Hasbro is a corporation, and they need to pay the stockholders. So we can't just also sit here and bitch about everything Magic does being money motivated. They are the cash cow for Hasbro, right? And we are the ones who keep spending the money. And you go, well, then we shouldn't spend our money, and that's why less people are playing Turtles. Fine, if you don't like Turtles, don't play Turtles. But at the end of the day, there was a set that you probably liked. You probably liked Lord of the Rings. You might have liked Spider-Man. Some people like Spider-Man. I don't know. And there are just so many good things about Magic and holding Magic cards and playing Magic and leveling up your enchantments or your sagas or your classes, and being mana screwed and being flooded and all the rest of it that comes with the game, that I just don't see the point in sitting here being angry about it, when what they really are doing is just year after year pushing out products that we want, that we like to play, and that we enjoy and that we appreciate. And I think that sometimes you forget, because you're so critical of, everybody's going to have an opinion on everything, that it still is a fun game. It still is it's still the game we enjoy. And whether you like a set or not, and whether you want to take a set off or not, you're still playing Magic. And that's why we're all here, right? It's because of the Magic. So that being said, my rant is over. I think, like I said, Universes Beyond is a net positive for Magic, in my opinion. And it's obviously going to continue. So embrace it. Go forward with it. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun. And if you really, really hate the art or hate Turtles or whatever, then ignore the art and play Magic. Because there's plenty of sets before we ever went into Universes Beyond that I didn't love or didn't enjoy or didn't think the art was great. But there were still cards that I loved, and there was still gameplay patterns that I loved, and there was still decks that I built around these cards, right? So that's the big takeaway here. And I hope that you guys get that too, that really, we're all winning as long as we're playing Magic. That being said, we split up the prize support, which was 2 packs per player. So I got 2 more packs of Turtles that I was going to open for you guys. And I also picked out a couple of packs of Modern Horizons too on the way out the door. So we'll do that, and we'll wrap the video up with these. So let's start with Turtles. This will be the first Turtles product I've opened on the channel. I can't imagine there'll be a ton more. Not just because I don't love it or that I can't, be spending all my money on product, but they really do go through them so fast nowadays that it's going to be tough to keep up. And I don't see, like, this is a smaller set. We're not chasing a ton of cards. So I don't see a good reason to open a lot of it other than it's fun and we get to have a look at it. So here we go. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got Buzzbots. Oroku Saki, Shredder Rising. Mutant Town Musicians. Rocksteady Crash Courser. Can't be blocked by more than one creature. Oh, this is the one that complements the boars, and then the bebop complements the rhinos, right? Yeah. High Flying Ace. MVP. Mind Transfer Protocol. Foot Mystic. Null Group Biological Assets. Old Hob Alley Cat Blues. Dimensional Exile. Michelangelo Game Master. So this is the one that makes the counters, right? Yeah, beginning of your step. So we had this one out. Right, Brandon? Remember? You had this one out. And you had Weirdness 211. Ooh, Transdimensional Bovine. So this is like a big Bird of Paradise, I guess. I haven't really been paying a huge amount of attention to like what all these cards do. But that's pretty cool. A little bit overcosted, I guess, right? I mean, it's got the big booty, but I don't know. Seems fun. And we got a foil Stockman, Mad Flyentist, and Dimension X. All right, cool. So pack number 1. I don't think the bovine is super valuable yet, or I don't know. I still feel like it's overcosted. Most people don't want to pay 3 mana for something that taps for 2, especially with like a creature that can be removed pretty easy, but I could be wrong. I guess we'll see going forward where we end up with the bovine, with the big old fake bird, cowbird. All right, we have Grounded for Life. Return to the Sewers. My lighting is like weird right now. I gotta like fix my lighting in the next video. Ice Cream Kitty. EPF Point Squad. Mutant Chain Reaction. Hamato Guardian Stance. Manhole Missile. Pizza Face Gastromancer. Legendary Artifact Creature Food Mutant. Who's going to build a commander deck around this? Like, really, like, this, I mean, I guess if there wasn't a turtle symbol on it, or you didn't know lore, I couldn't imagine even thinking this was pizza. This looks more like an uncard, right? It doesn't look like a TMNT card. But how is this that different from, like, Slimefoot, right? You know what I mean? So, at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 other target artifact or creature. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a 0/0 mutant creature in addition to its other types. And 10 tap, sacrifice Pizza Face, you gain 15 life. Yeah. Right. Like we could build something dorky around this for fun. I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, we got the turtles playing Magic and the Magic card playing Magic on the inside, and there's Magic and the Magic playing the Magic, and people hate this. And we were saying how fun this is, right? Like, I really... How can you hate this? Who cares? It's Urban Evolution, but better, or whatever, you know, or the Zamon's Mastery, or whatever that shit was called. But who cares that turtles are playing Magic? I love art imitating life, imitating art, imitating life, imitating... It's fine. It's fine, okay? Good card. Bespoke Bow. Michelangelo, weird. Look, I'm building his deck. I'm building the deck. Brandon, I'm building your deck, bro. Oh, it's like a double rare. I don't know if a lot of the packs have a double rare. Is that how it's working here? I don't know. We got Michelangelo and a Leonardo's Technique. Sneak. Return 1 or 2 target creature cards, each with mana value 3 or less, from your graveyard to the battlefield. So for 2 mana, I don't know. I guess it's okay, right? 4 mana, not so great. 2 mana, kind of okay. And there's the Michelangelo Game Master in foil. So there you go. See, this is how you build that deck in Limited. They just put them right there for you. You're like, here, do this. And then you get to put this in here. Yay, winning, right? I don't have to play any games, any card. I know I'm winning in life, in Magic. Stop complaining. It's fun. I love it. Okay. So, if Turtles is not your thing, how about Wizard Cycling? Right? I mean, obviously, you know, if you know the channel, you know I love to open booster packs looking for commons and uncommons because I'm psycho. But I honestly haven't opened MH2. I couldn't even say the last time I opened MH2. If I happen to open one pack on this channel, like in the last like couple months, I don't think I have. But either way, it's not one I get to open often, and I've been opening a lot of MH3 lately when I get the chance to buy like some boosters like that. But it would be nice. There are some good cards in this set, and yeah, Urza Saga, right? Stuff like that. So, you know, maybe we could hit something a little spicy. I do appreciate you joining me for the video. Appreciate you guys hearing me out, listening to my ramblings on IP and why you should love turtles. Not because they're turtles, but look, because of squirrels, right? Perfect. Because of squirrels. Because you're bitching about turtles in a game that's in-universe lore caters to storm squirrels. Couldn't I make my point any clear? Anyway, okay, here we go. So, what do we got? Is this going to be rare at the front? I'm going to be annoyed if it's rare at the front. Got an island. Got a nested shambler. Okay, rare at the back. This is shaping up all right. Things are looking up. Flourishing strike. Bottle golems. Loathsome curator. We did it. We did it. We found the common. The wizard cycling common. I am working on some sort of deck in EDH or possibly even CEDH, because Wizard Cycling 2 for basically part of a combo when you're playing like Dualcaster Mage combos, that's a demonic tutor, but it's not really counterable. I mean, you'd have to like stifle it, and it goes to your like this card does not say any of that. This card does not say any of that. This card says tutor for a wizard for 2 mana. So Thoracle, Spellseeker, discard. Healer's Flock. Blossoming Calm. We're into the uncommons. I have like 4 of these from the very last time I played Modern. I had a Boros Burn deck that this sideboarded like 4 or something like that. And it's not even like a valuable card anymore. And this is the downside of opening this set, is that you're going to open this card that I already have like 4. It's just fuck off. All right. And a Karmic Guide. Is that good? Double rare? I don't know. Flying, protection from black. Protection from black and red. We'll just put all this together. See, they just want you to make straight decks out of the last 2 cards in the pack. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. And a Sudden Edict. And a Bannerhide Krishok. I guess so. There's also the foil. Could be any rarity. So is that what's going to happen in MH2? These are set boosters. So do we get 2 rares, an alt, like OG, whatever this treatment's called, like not finished or whatever, and then a foil, right? Is that what's going to happen? Let's compare for science. Anyway, like I was saying before, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Commenting, like, I know it takes time and effort, but like that interaction really helps. Obviously, showing like actual interaction is really, really positive thing. And if I can get more people to interact with me and to just, help make the videos pop in that way, that would be fabulous and be really appreciated. So here's a pretty little merfolk. Svelin, okay. I don't remember the Svelin art, so maybe this is an alt art. I don't know. I feel like it was a different art. Maybe sometimes I don't look at the cards properly. Like I might see an art and say, that's that. I might know the name from the art, but I could still not tell you, even after years, of actually what's in the picture. Sometimes I look at Magic cards and go, wow, look at that picture. And a lot of the time, I don't. It's so weird. Terminal Agony. Fodder Tosser. Junk Winder. Goblin Trap Runner. Batterbone. Combine Chrysalis. All right. I think we're going to get a rare now, right? Let's see here. We've got a rare. Thought Monitor. That's a good affinity card, although it's probably only worth $1 or something like that. But okay. And another rare. Patriarch's Bidding. Each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creatures of a card. These are shit. These are shit rares. Oh, but we do get the old school border treatment step through, which is the the common I was hoping to hit. That's funny. So yeah, this double rare, old special treatment, and then foil, and it's a foil common. All right, well, thank you again for watching. I appreciate everybody. Much love to you all, and I will see you in the next one.